Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be watching this video. Another week has passed and another claim date is upon us. So in today's video, we'll be claiming fees that I've earned in various LP positions I have throughout the ecosystem. And we'll also be doing some LP maintenance. We'll get into what that means exactly in the video. So with that being said, let's get right into today's content. So before we actually get into claiming the LP fees, there actually was a lot that went on this week. We had Flare Drop, we had our Flare reward claim, we had delegations. It was a pretty eventful week. So I actually got a little too excited this week because of all the action, and I claimed things a little early. So I'll keep that in mind for next month when it's, claim day and our Flare rewards. You got delegations, you got Flare drops. I'll definitely keep in mind to make sure not to claim until I've recorded this video. But I wanted to go through what I earned in our Flare rewards from the various positions I had in the LPs. So starting with Kinetic, I earned about 1,500 R Flare from capital that I have being lent out on that platform. Well, really not to my surprise. I earned 7,000 almost, so like 7,200 R Flare from my pools on Enosys, and then I earned another 4,500 from LPs that I had on SparkDex. So I was doing a little experiment anyway with comparing R Flare rewards between Enosys and SparkDex, and my hunch was right. Definitely earning more R Flow rewards with my capital on Enosys, but I still like that I'm making a pretty decent amount on SparkDex as well. So I'll keep things separate how they are, but definitely wanted to confirm my suspicion from the last R Flare epoch. And then, of course, I made a few claims. So out of the R Flare rewards, I was able to take about 1,700 and add it to my stack. So 1,700 out of that vested amount. And then a couple of days later, I was able to get another 870 out of that. So all is good. All is good. I'll definitely make sure I keep that in mind before just getting too happy and claim so you guys can actually see the full process, because these numbers definitely impact how I track my pool performance. So I only count my R Flare rewards and my flare drops one time, because obviously if you count it multiple times, it'll skew the numbers a bit. So I want to keep my numbers and the data that I'm tracking as accurate as possible. So at least 1 week out of the month, you'll see like a crazy spike in earning potential or what you earned because of the flare drop, the R flare reward claim, and delegations happening all in the same week. So yeah, those definitely play a role in pool performance for sure. So moving on. In terms of flare drops that those positions made, so my pools on Enosis, they made one of them made another 1,000 wrap flare, and then I made another 703 wrap flare on my second pull on Enosis, and then on SparkDex I earned another 870 wrap flare with an additional 331 R flare as well. So man, can't complain about that. I wish I wouldn't have claimed a little prematurely, but like I said, I'll keep that in mind for the next time. So moving on ahead. All right, so moving on to the actual claim part. I have two positions on SparkDex currently. I have a wrapped ETH USDC pool and a wrapped Flare USDC pool. So not only on SparkDex will we be claiming those fees available, but we also need to do some LP maintenance, like I mentioned in the intro of the video. So what do I mean by that? So after this most recent R Flare reward epoch, SparkDex made an announcement saying that 100% of the rewards previously allocated to wrapped ETH USDC will be diverted to wrapped ETH USDT 0, and 50% of the rewards previously allocated to wrapped Flare USDC will be diverted to wrapped Flare USDT 0. So I need to move my capital over to those pools so that I can continue earning a decent R Flare return. So we'll be doing two things. We'll be claiming and then doing the maintenance. So let's start off with the claim. We have $6.28 to claim here. So let's go ahead and claim that. Claim, then we'll withdraw. Yeah, so we're gonna hop over to OpenOcean. I'm going to swap my USDC over into USDT zero. Going to take a little bit of hit on the price impact, but not too much. Go ahead and swap that. It's the price of doing business. All right, we got that done. Let's hop back over to SparkDex. Let's go to the farm. Wrapped ETH USDT 0. Let's click into that. Let's add. So I'm probably going to set a similar range to what I had in the previous wrapped ETH USDC pool. Pretty happy with this setup. So make sure you're on the APR boosted section. I'm going expert, which is a little bit more riskier. So make sure you know what you're doing before doing anything with these LPs. Have my capital selected. I'm going to hit add liquidity. Hit confirm, approve the transaction. Done. Now I'm in the wrapped ETH USDT pool. All right, so heading over to the wrapped Flare USDC pool, I earned $9.19 on top of Flare Drop, our Flare rewards, and delegations. So I'm definitely satisfied with that. Claim that. Done. Now I need to withdraw, remove. I'll confirm that. That's done. Now I'm gonna hop back over to OpenOcean again. All right, so I swapped my USDC for USDT zero so I can pair it with my Wrap Flare. I hopped back over to SparkDex, made sure I have the Wrap Flare USDT zero pair selected. Make sure you have the APR boosted option selected. I'm going expert. Again, make sure you know what you're doing before you mess with any of these buttons. If you are new to LPs or you're just trying to dip your toes in, I would not recommend choosing the expert option. Um, I do it because I like to keep tighter ranges, and of course, I earn more rewards the tighter that range is, and the longer I stay in that range. So fees, R flare, good combination. So I have $749.15 worth of Flare and $293.82 worth of USDT zero. I like that pair. Going to go ahead and confirm that liquidity, confirm transaction. Sometimes it gets stuck there for some reason, so you just hit refresh and you're good to go. So now I have I put a little more wrap flare or a little bit more into this wrap flare USDT pool than what I originally had, but oh well. We're good to go for that. So now we're good. We're done with SparkDex. Let's move on to Enosis. All right, so moving on to Enosis, I have two pools on this platform as well. So Wrap Flare USDC as well as Wrap Flare USDT zero. No portfolio or no pool maintenance required on this platform. If you remember last fee claim, so last claim day, this pool was out of range. Well, it popped back in range for a few days, and I was able to earn some nice fees in those short few days. But now we're back out of range, so it's not earning anything. Kind of sad about that. I'm holding on. I don't want to rebalance this pool just yet and take the L on impermanent loss. Maybe as this pool's value gets closer back to 1,000, then maybe I'll think about that. But by the time we get closer to $1,000 as full as position TVL, we're probably going to be back in that range anyway. So I might leave it alone. And then, of course, this Wrap Flare USDT zero pool is kicking as normal. The pool range is wider. So the range in which I'm providing liquidity in this particular pool is wider. So I haven't been knocked out of range just yet. And it's been earning a nice amount of fees. So for the Wrap Flare USDC pool, I earned $4.31. And for the Rat Flare USDT zero pool, I earned $9.10. So both pools have earned a decent amount amongst the Flare Drop, our Flare rewards, delegations, things of that nature. So I'm definitely happy with my performance. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I am in a spot where I'm comfortable to add more capital to these positions. So I'll probably try and start with just doubling the amount that I have in these pool positions a little over time, and then just see what $2,000 each in each pool will do for me in terms of rewards, fees, what have you. So looking forward to that. But that's really it, man. That's my claim day. Not a whole lot to it. Had to do some pool maintenance on the Spark Deck side, but that's part of it. Totally fine with RFA rewards being moved around to serve better purposes and probably create more demand for USDT zero, which is what we want, especially as we get closer to XRP-Fi and F assets, starting with FXRP going live on mainnet in short order. I have a feeling that might be happening over in the next couple of days. So we will see. Next week might have a lot of surprises for us. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Let me know what you think about Claim Day in the comments. Do you want to continue to see more content like this? What other types of content would you like to see on the YouTube channel? Also, if you didn't know, the Flare Forward team, we have a private DeFi group called the DeFi Den, where we really go in depth with strategies, how to enter LPs, picking your ranges, mindset related things to be successful in DeFi, and several other things, especially with involving how to use these platforms to their best potential. So, like I said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.